the truck on Tuesday.
We don't want to say goodbye. We love you.
I love that.
It is obviously it's a big prize and all of that.
Oh,
That's
yes,
really cool.
of course.
Okay, so tickets are $100.
Yep.
All right.
Anita Stevens, Swan Humane Society. Do we have any more time?
No.
Boo!
You're out.
Well, we're
Sorry.
bringing the Wiggle Waggle back, so stay tuned.
All right, we'll look for that. Thank you.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually in fact true. How would you like up to $2,000 of free windows? When I say $2,000 of free windows, I mean $2,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $2,000 to get $2,000 free. You just get $2,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of the restrictions are income-based. And you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
All right, Tim, time for the Father's Day quiz. Are you ready?
Yes, Bill Keeler, I'm ready.
All right, name 3 things you can do for your family on Father's Day. Ready, go.
Wear the ugly tie to dinner.
Wrong.
Tell them I love the zebra striped boxers.
Wrong. Last chance. Here we go.
Actually, listen to my doctor and get tested for cancer so that I can be around next year.
That's the answer we're looking for. Plan to be here for Father's Day next year. Real men get tested for cancer.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment. And trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. We're giving you the best deals of the season. It's Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Manaski's back in with us this morning. And I'm not going to get into it, but it has been a hell of a morning. I feel like we've been through an entire day. It's already 10 o'clock, not just 9 o'clock. And we've completed the day. Or getting ready to start part 2 of the day. I don't know.
I'm so jealous, Bill. You make it sound like your day ends at 10 o'clock.
Done at 10, Manaski. Done at 10. 9 o'clock, over. All right. So a lot to just, I don't know, if there was a storm and the power went out, but the station was off the air, and then the YouTube's not working, and then it goes on. So I'll leave it at that. And a lot happened yesterday. Boy, this conflict it's a war, right? Between Israel and Iran is unbelievable.
So I have a question, and I need you to fill me in.
Okay.
But before we get to the details of what actually is going on and what you're talking about right there, can I just say I'm surprised? I feel like the media, in their desperation for clicks always, and this is not a political issue, this is the media.
Okay.
Is always trying to scare you or always trying to make you feel like it's worse. You have to click on and read this story because it's vital information. And I feel like less is being made about this conflict than I would expect. A lot less is being made about this. Nobody's going, and I'm not lumping John Zogby into the media, but he said yesterday, Bill, no, I'm not worried about World War III starting.
Well, his reasoning for that, I mean, this is really bad. They're evacuating Tehran. You have bombs that are hitting in Israel. So there is a lot that's really and we are a step away from a mistake being made in this becoming a conflict that goes even further. Like if they attack one of our ships, although we have 2 aircraft carriers that are nuclear in that region now. I believe the Nimitz is on its way. These are the most advanced war machines ever in the history of the planet. It's just it would be well, I don't want to talk like Titanic. It's unsinkable. But it's where the reason we have 2 is because we're saying to Iran, don't go hitting any of our bases. Don't go coming after us. And we've kind of stayed out of this, although President Trump left the summit yesterday and came back to monitor what's going on. So it is a big deal. And I do think it's being paid a lot of attention to. However, when John said that he's not worried about, he doesn't feel like this would move to a World War III, is because you have so many partners, so many, like China becomes a big part of this. And he just, the feeling is that China will not, they'll denounce this, but they will not get involved. And even the United States is staying back and not getting into it and letting Israel handle this whole thing. So it's, but these are very, very scary times.
Melania made a hot pocket. We're going to watch the show. I'm still working it.
That was good.
Some days it's so much better than that.
The Hot Pocket, I like pizza flavor. Speaking of what's going on with President Trump, a man protesting ICE in Los Angeles over the weekend claims that an officer shot him with a rubber bullet, and the officer's like, "Come on, give me a break. It's non-lethal." But he said the problem is. Martin Santoyo said, the problem is he shot me in the groin.
Oh, man.
And it has caused some serious damage to his groinal region. Here's what he says.
The cop right next to him had a gun aimed and shot. He was like 2-3 feet away. Right now I'm at home. The injury was sustained to my groin, left testicle, and my right testicle was actually shattered. They somewhat fixed it. So it should have some function, but it's still very badly damaged.
In the hospital, they call that testicular shatterment, and it's just not it's not something you ever want to experience. The suggestion is a frozen bag of peas or corn or something like that.
Well,
it'd be better if it was like a frozen bag of mashed potatoes would be even better.
A frozen bag of peas, is that all that? Is that all? That's what his girlfriend's calling him now.
Apparently.
A frozen bag of peas.
This I could not wait to share that I discovered overnight and could not wait to share, and I have not heard it yet. So I'm as excited to hear this as maybe you're not, but I think you will be. For the first time ever, 3 of the Beatles' offspring, Davey, this is big. For the first time ever, 3 of the Beatles' offspring have collaborated on a song. So you have Sean Lennon, James McCartney, and Zach Starkey. Now, Zach Starkey is Ringo Starr's son. So you have Paul McCartney's kid, John Lennon's kid, and Ringo Starr's kid, and they've done a song called Rip Off.
Who's the 4th Beatle?
It would be George Harrison. But
no kids?
I don't think George Harrison... I don't know if George Harrison has any kids.
I'm not.
But his kid's not involved in this.
I'm not one who believes that the chemistry and the ability is passed genetically.
Well, it's really interesting when you look at Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson, his kid or kids, created Wilson Phillips. Remember that? Now. Are they the genius that in music that there's a lot of kids that have gone on to perform and do really, really well. Miley Cyrus, her father, and Miley Cyrus is probably bigger than her father ever was. However, oftentimes I think you're right. What happens is people look at it and say, "Oh, it's just living off the name, doesn't have the talent that his or her father had or her mother had."
Yeah, and I'm not even saying living off the talent, but I was surprised to hear that you said you were excited about this.
I am excited. I am. I mean, because you never know.
It's not going to be as good, Bill.
You know, if you grew up in the 70s or in the 60s, you spent your life hoping that the Beatles would get back together. And then John Lennon was shot. George Harrison died of cancer. And you're like, it's all over with. So this is like the next best thing or chance, and that's just how I feel about it. So,
okay,
let's listen. Are you ready? This is a song called "Rip Off." We had to clean it up. There is an F-bomb in the lyrics here, So here we go.
Haven't made my point yet. Come back to me. You see, I have a problem. It's in between.
I hope this is not the final mix. I don't know. It just seems to.
What a disappointing start to your day, huh?
Disappointment.
He thought it was going to get better.
Disappointment. Here's Bill. What do you say on this, Bill?
Well, I mean, individually they're all pretty accomplished.
Oh, hold on, Bill. You're right. That is true. But I need you to talk. If you're on a speaker, try to talk into the phone because you're cutting out pretty badly. That's better. Maybe.
I'll put you on speakerphone.
Okay.
It sounded like Bill called from the bottom of somebody's pool.
So you have Sean Lennon, James McCartney, and Zach Starkey. And Starkey, of course, has been in the news with The Who, in and out of the band and controversy there. But go ahead.
Yeah, then Oasis, he was...
and Oasis,
with the band Oasis. And Sean Lennon with Delirium with Les Claypool from Private. That absolutely amazing band and amazing solo stuff. So...
And what is James? What about James McCartney? He looks like he's a little heavier. Paul McCartney is like the same weight he was when he was in 1964. It seems.
Paul McCartney. I think he eats wheat German goat milk.
You're absolutely right.
Him I'm not aware of, but Donnie Harrison or Danny Harrison, George Harrison, is an amazing musician who.
Okay, so he does have a kid. So this could be better if all four of them got together.
I think I believe Sean and Danny are the most talented. I mean, obviously Zach Starkey's an amazing drummer.
Yeah.
I don't know about his writing abilities, but
right.
Sean Lennon's put out some amazing music. Danny has also.
Okay.
But he's not as public.
All right, well, I got to look all these guys up, and I got Sean Lennon had his own solo stuff out in the 80s as well. So, all right, I appreciate it, Bill. Thank you. Thanks for the update.
Good day, guys.
All right, you do the same. I want to hear the final mix of that because I think it'd be interesting. But I would love to see if George Harrison's kid got involved too.
What if his mix is the final one?
I'm not happy with that mix. That's all I'm saying. All right, I got a break. Hold tight. It's been a hell of a morning. We're coming right back.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
He's no longer in Canada. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump left the G7 summit early, arriving back in Washington a few hours ago to deal with the Israel-Iran conflict at the White House, where Fox's Mark Meredith reports.
He wanted to make sure he could have secure communication with his staff. The president says Iran should tread carefully, not do anything to endanger U.S. troops or civilians living in the Middle East. He also doubled down on his belief that a nuclear Iran is not an option. On Truth Social, on his way back to the White House, he also posted, he said, "I have not reached out to Iran for peace talks in any way, shape, or form. If they want to talk, they know how to reach me. They should have taken the deal that was on the table, would have saved a lot of lives."
In another Trump post, he warned everyone in Tehran to evacuate. And as the Israeli attacks continue today, they're targeting more than just nuclear sites in Iran.
The IDF claims to have killed Ali Shadmani, Iran's newly appointed wartime chief of staff. He was the most senior military commander closest to the Grand Ayatollah.
Fox's Mike Tobin also reports from Tel Aviv as Iran keeps firing back.
The ballistic missile attacks continue, but the numbers have decreased. We had a number of false alarms last night, and this morning a missile attack did materialize, but instead of hundreds of missiles and drones, there were tens of missiles and drones. About 4 of them did get through. We saw them impact the town of Herzliya, just a little north of Tel Aviv where we are.
But no casualties are reported. Iran's counterattacks have killed 24 Israelis so far in all. Russia have bombarded Ukraine again overnight, killing at least 15 people there.
The nighttime barrage saw drones and missiles rain down on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. killing and injuring civilians as they slept in their beds. A 9-story residential building demolished, others badly damaged. One of the dead is reported to be a U.S. citizen.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The president cutting his trip to Canada short cancels the meeting he was supposed to have today with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. Former Senator Bob Menendez reports to federal prison today. The New Jersey Democrat has to serve an 11-year sentence for bribery and corruption. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/policy. That's ethos.com/policy.
Another win for Harvard for now. Battling a Trump crackdown on the university over claims Harvard let anti-Semitism thrive on campus.
Federal Judge Allison Burroughs has temporarily extended an order that blocks the Trump administration from keeping foreign students out of Harvard. The Trump administration cited national security and said the university is no longer a trustworthy steward of international student and exchange visitor programs. Harvard's attorney says this is a violation of their First Amendment rights and retaliatory for not complying with President Trump's demands that Harvard shift how it operates. Judge Burroughs, an Obama appointee, already issued a temporary restraining order against the Trump administration, but Monday said she needs more time to prepare a ruling on a longer-term injunction. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
A federal appeals court will today consider California's attempt to end President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to Los Angeles to deal with the destructive protests against federal illegal immigration raids, while Democrats in California propose new legislation that would not let some law enforcement officers wear face masks.
The so-called No Secret Police Act would also require cops to display identifying information on their uniforms. SWAT officers and cops wearing riot gear would be exempt.
That's Fox's Gary Baumgarten. On Wall Street, stocks could go back down after yesterday's big rebound to Friday's sell-off. Dow futures down more than 200 points. In the NBA Finals, the Thunder roll.
Williams has been hot all night, falling away. Got it! 40 points for Jalen Williams.
Leading the way for Oklahoma City, beating the Indiana Pacers 120-109 on ABC to give the Thunder a 3-2 series lead. They have a chance to win the NBA title on Thursday night. Tonight, the Florida Panthers could lift the Stanley Cup again. If they beat Edmonton, they'll be the NHL champions a second straight year. In baseball, Boston shut out Seattle 2-0 for a sixth straight win. The day after the Red Sox traded star designated hitter Rafael Devers to San Francisco. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. I'm Megan Stone with your news update. 63 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full WIBX Weather Center forecast is coming up next. Rome police have made an arrest in the robbery of the South Madison Street Burger King. According to authorities, officers were dispatched to the restaurant around 8:30 last Monday after a suspect threatened an employee with a knife and fled with the money from the register. No one was injured, and the amount of money taken was not disclosed. Rome police have since identified the alleged suspect as 41-year-old Paul Williamson of Utica and have charged him with first-degree robbery, which is a Class B felony. Williamson was taken to Oneida County Jail for arraignment. The Monroe County Department of Public Health is looking into a potential measles exposure. The agency says an unvaccinated juvenile stayed at the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel on Jefferson Road earlier this month and tested positive for the virus while in another state. The health department is working to try and contact guests who were at the hotel during the person's stay. Measles is highly contagious and symptoms include cough, high fever, rash, and watery eyes. New York State is working toward making necessary road and highway improvements to accommodate the future Micron Technology campus in Clay. The DOT has hired a consultant to figure out the best way to deal with increased traffic that'll be in the area. More than $9 million will be spent over the next 5 years to come up with the designs for roads and highway exits. Construction of the Micron complex is scheduled to start later this year. A man was arrested and is accused of carrying 78 pounds of marijuana. Customs and Border Protection officials said yesterday that the discovery happened Sunday at the Peace Bridge. Ronald Nunn said he made a wrong turn that took him and his rental truck to the Canadian border. The marijuana was valued at $230,000. Nunn is facing felony criminal possession of cannabis charges. And Joey Chestnut will once again compete in the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest next month. His return comes 1 year after being banned from the event due to his endorsement deal with a vegan food brand, Impossible Foods. In a post on X, Chestnut said he's grateful he and Nathan's were able to find common ground and that he's excited to be back on the Coney Island stage doing what he loves to do. Chestnut has won the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest 16 times. He ate a world record 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes when he faced off against his longtime rival Takeru Kobayashi in a Netflix special last year. Your WIBX News Time, 7:07. Here's your Weather Center forecast brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Visit johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more info.
Unsettled week with warmer temperatures starting to surge back in. A few showers today, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. Not expecting widespread rainfall, 75. A chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight, 65. Tomorrow, a few showers, thunderstorms, 83. And showers are likely on Thursday, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm, high 83. I'm meteorologist Ray Stejek at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
63 degrees under cloudy skies. Let's take a look at sports. Brought to you by the IBEW 43 local sports desk, the Thunder. They have taken the series lead after recording a second straight win in the NBA Finals. Oklahoma City defeated the Pacers 120-109 at home in Game 5. Jalen Williams led the way for OKC with a game-high 40 points. NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander chipped in a double-double with 31 points and 10 assists. The Thunder leading the best-of-7 series 3-2. Pacers hosting the Thunder in a pivotal Game 6 Thursday. The Stanley Cup will be in the building tonight. The Panthers have a chance to clinch their second straight championship when they square off against the Oilers for Game 6. Winger Matthew Tkachuk said that they have to treat the matchup as a Game 7. Meanwhile, Edmonton's goalie controversy is still unsolved. The team hasn't named a starter between Stuart Skinner or Calvin Pickard. Team USA is naming half a dozen players to its 2026 Olympic hockey roster. Matthew and Brady Tkachuk, Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel, Quinn Hughes, and Charlie McAvoy were chosen for the team on Monday. However, the Stars and Stripes have yet to select a goalie. Final rosters for Milan need to be submitted by early January. The Yankees suffering a fourth straight loss after falling to the Angels 1-0 in 11 innings. New York still leads the AL East. They continue its 4-game set tonight. Mets hoping to put an end to their respective losing streak. New York dropping 3 in a row. They enter tonight's series opener against the Braves. The Mets are still leading the NL East. The first batch of balloting for this year's MLB All-Star Game has been released. Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge is leading all players with over 1.5 million votes from fans. Dodgers two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani is leading all National League players with nearly 1.4 million votes. This year's process features 2 stages of fan voting, with the current stage running through June 26th. The All-Star Game will be played on July 15th in Atlanta. And the final week of spring football has arrived, with the Giants starting mandatory minicamp. Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo will be occupying the secondary for the first time since signing with the G-Men in free agency. New York will be holding training camp next month. Your WIBX News Time, 7:10, 63 degrees under cloudy skies. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
So if you're dealing with some pain, it's possible. Could be your back or shoulder, neck, hip, sciatica, you name it. It could be coming from your feet, Manaski. It could be coming from your feet, or you're crouching behind home plate. Sometimes that'll get you.
It does.
you might want to go to the Good Feet store because it may very well be coming from your feet. There's no obligation. Personal fitting and a free fitting test walk is included. You do not need an appointment. You can walk in or you can make an appointment by calling 315-999-3910 for the Good Feet store. 3-step system. These are inserts you put into your shoes, or you can add their shoes, which are perfect as well. It can very well change your life when it comes to pain. Strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. There are 3 different inserts. And you follow their procedure, and you're literally exercising by just wearing your regular shoes. It's really incredible. It's a Good Feet store. Reach out today. Commercial Drive in New Hartford at 4630 Commercial Drive, or call them for an appointment. 315-999-3910 is the number. And if you're looking to buy or sell when it comes to real estate, nobody does it better than River Hills Properties. They have expanded. They have you completely covered here in Central New York and the Mohawk Valley and upstate New York and the Adirondacks. And now they've expanded to the amazing, beautiful Gulf Coast of Florida. So if you wanted to think about, after this really difficult winter we had, maybe there are some options where you downsize here, keep the home you have here, add down there, something you can go to in the wintertime. I can tell you your kids would love it. Reach out to River Hills Properties. They'll walk you through the entire process. They have several agents and offices down there. You can use Bill and Robin Manjo if you choose. Just reach out, 315-896-1009. Offices in Barneville, Little Falls, Utica, Copenhagen, Newport, and now in Sarasota, Florida, on the beautiful Gulf Coast, covering Naples and Marco Island, some of the most beautiful area in the entire country. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties, here and down there, 315-896-1009.
This station is brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Visit johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more info.
Ferris Commercial Mowers set the bar with racing-inspired patented full suspension and integrated cutting decks so you can go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Ferris experienced suspension. Take advantage of the best financing and prices of the year. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
We're the power in power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
Looking for a reliable ride without the brand new price tag? Come to Steep Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer and check out our huge selection of Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicles. Virtually all makes and models, all backed by a certified warranty and low financing options. Right now, qualified buyers get rates as low as 3.9% for 36 months on popular models like the Chevy Equinox, Trailblazer, Traverse, and Malibu. Take the stress out of car shopping and receive the buying experience you deserve from your local family-owned dealership. You'll drive with confidence in a Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicle from Steep Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. But hurry, these deals won't last. You must take delivery by June 30th. Together, let's drive to Steep Pawnee Chevrolet, State Route 28 in Herkimer, or online anytime at steeppawneechevy.com. All taxes and fees additional. Customer must qualify for top-tier credit through GM Financial. See salesperson for details.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts, or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
If you're experiencing discomfort in your knees, hips, or back, it may stem from foot issues. The Good Feet store is here to help with their team of arch support specialists. Their comprehensive solution includes strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers, a 3-step system of arch supports that work together to improve and maintain proper foot alignment by exercising and strengthening muscles, tendons, and ligaments of the feet. Get back to being pain-free with the Good Feet store at their new Hartford location on Commercial Drive. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
On Tuesday's Guy Benson Show, Katie Pavlich will join us. News of the day and politics as well. Paul Morrow, former NYPD inspector, he'll be here on the Law and Order beat. And Israel's ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Michael Leiter, will be here on the Guy Benson Show. Tuesday edition coming your way.
Guy Benson, airing at 7, only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
It's a trip, Davey. It's a trip. Looking forward to it. It's a trip. Manaski's in studio here today. He had a terrible day yesterday, so I'm like, listen, you want to add to horrificness? Then, you didn't have a terrible day?
Well, no, I had a long day. I do want to say,
it was
though,
a wonderful day.
I kind of was on the phone talking to a friend and was told, boy, you're in a whiny mood, aren't you?
Just this morning you were?
No, last night.
Okay.
When I got home and was like, and I still have to do garbage, and I have laundry that needs to be folded.
And you got to take the dog out
And I had to go take the dog for a walk.
Yeah.
And it was, I was just kind of venting, and I was told, well, you sound kind of whiny. So it wasn't a terrible day. It was a good day. I did the show here. I had a good day at FedEx. We had a game last night, which was a good game. I don't think I screwed anything up, but I'm sure they know better than I do. And then I got home and I did my my housekeeping stuff. Have I told you I love Mondays because it's garbage day?
Yeah, and then you're adding coming in here, so we do appreciate it.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, I love you guys. Are you kidding me?
So for Mother's Day, I got my wife the bird feeder with the camera. And we yeah. Now, let me tell you, you laugh, she's excited about it. But it has caused more so. I'm putting it up, and I have an idea of how to because you want to put it up so that the squirrels don't get to it. Because you'll put bird seed in, and then all of a sudden. But I was really surprised when she said, "Are you going to put up my bird feeder?" So I'm like, "Oh, she's ready." She said, "I want to see some birds. We got a lot of birds out there." So we finally found a spot. She said, "Why would you put it over there in the corner in a nook?" I said, because, number one, you don't want it in an area where the birds are going to crap all over the place, right?
Right.
Because they will and make a really bad mess.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to put it in a spot where the squirrels aren't going to get to it. Yeah, so I said, I put it here. And she said, they're never going to find it. The birds are never, trust me. These birds
find worms in wet grass. Yes.
So maybe it's just bad seed. Maybe we have bad seed. It's like, I'm not interested. We have not had, I put it up last Friday in a bad spot, apparently, because now she wants me to move it. But we have not had a single bird land on this stupid bird feeder.
Boy, that is hard to believe.
And I have birds everywhere.
Even if you have generic bad feeder.
There are birds everywhere. Getting into the fan of the gazebo, getting into there's one on top of the light on the front porch, giving birth. The birds are everywhere.
Yeah.
And we cannot get one. It's got to be the seed. I need seed that's like crack. Some really good crack seed that we can put up there that the birds not only will come for, but then they'll become addicted to it and they'll keep coming back.
And I meant generic bad seed, not feeder.
Yeah.
But so where do you get your seed from?
I don't have a seed place.
Oh, no. You do like Chewy or something like that?
I think I just got mine at the Walmart or something. I don't know. Yeah. But it attracts certain birds.
Oh, really?
So maybe
I didn't know they were so picky.
I didn't know either. But the squirrels be all over. Even the squirrels have not. It's been a major failure, and I feel like grabbing birds and putting them on the thing and saying, "Eat, will you?"
You know what I think has the potential to be more entertaining is I've seen these videos where they almost build obstacle courses for squirrels. And they will do some tricks.
Oh, squirrels are incredible.
Telling your dog to sit and shake for a treat is nothing compared to what a squirrel will do.
My parents had a bird feeder with a cage, and a squirrel got into that cage, and then it was could not get out because it was so hard to get into the cage. So it's squirrels are something, and raccoons also. There are a lot of videos on YouTube of raccoons. They are like human.
Wow, they just tip over the trash can and eat whatever comes out.
It's amazing what they can do with their hands. It's probably more than I can do. On the line right now is Dr. Kent Hall. Dr. Hall, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
The things we become amused with when you become old. I have a list of them. You become when you start to get older, you become amused with wildlife. All of a sudden, you want binoculars to be able to look out in the backyard and see what you're looking at. Could be a woodchuck, could be a squirrel. You're interested in birds, and you're interested in Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Those things are a true sign, Doc, that you're getting older, I'm afraid.
Yeah, hopefully you're not becoming a Mrs. Kravitz with your binoculars.
That would be awful, right? That would be terrible. Although, I don't think I have any Elizabeth Montgomery living anywhere near the neighborhood, so I think we'll be just fine. Okay, Doc, so I did want to, we're now reaching that point where kids and grandkids and all of that getting out of school. I believe that in Oneida County, kids will be going to school right up until next maybe Thursday or Friday, believe it or not. It seems a little late. And then there are those who will travel. Maybe you're doing a staycation, or maybe you're traveling or flying, whatever it is. I thought maybe some tips on how to not get sick when you're getting ready for a vacation, because we're coming up on that time.
No, we are. You're absolutely right. So I guess I will start this by saying the good news is that because it is the summer, most of our activities once we get to where we're going are going to be outside. So, you're going to be, enjoying the beach or going to the park or something like that. So just being out means that by definition, you're not going to be in enclosed areas, and you're not going to be as close to people. You're not going to be as confined with people as you would be if it was like, over the holidays in the winter. However, it is getting there that has the potential for exposing you to people that you're not normally exposed to, right. Whether it's in an airplane or, however it is that if you're going in a family car, obviously that's different. So, the recommendations really from a public health standpoint, have not changed as they relate to respiratory diseases. So, first and foremost, if you are not feeling well, then you should stay away from other people. In the car, that's really hard.
Yep.
But I think that the family should be aware of the members plural health of everybody in the family, and should take that into account when they are planning their travel tips.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a vulnerable person, then you want to make sure that you are doing what you can to protect yourself. And if that means, staying away from people, okay. If that means, wearing a mask or something like that, then I think that's a good idea also. I know that has controversy, and people are going to be, some people may not like that, but the reality is that it does decrease the chance. It doesn't make it zero, but it does decrease the chance of getting infected. Because remember, the chance of getting infected is directly related to the amount of virus that you are exposed to and the duration of time that you are exposed to. So wearing a mask decreases the amount of virus. Doesn't decrease it to zero, but it does decrease the amount of virus that you are exposed to. So those are the biggest things. Obviously, if you're going to a resort or something like that, or if the kids are going to a stay camp where they're there overnight, for like a week or something, then, they're going to be with kids that they haven't been with. They're probably going to be staying in cabins or something. So there has to be some understanding about that. My understanding is that, all of them, or most of them anyway, have some kind of, healthcare facility, and they've got health folks that are there, whether nurses, sometimes physicians or nurse practitioners or physician's assistants. So there should be people there who have good medical knowledge and can also help.
One of the things too, I got to say, it's so funny watching people like they're sneezing or their nose is running and it's pulling out their Kleenexes and they're like, don't worry, it's allergies. I got allergies. Don't worry, nothing to worry about here. And do you really? Is it really allergies? Do you know for sure it's allergies? Well, yep, definitely allergies. I'm not sick. Don't worry. The fact is, how do you know if it's allergies? That's number one. And number two is, if you're traveling on vacation, and maybe you're going on a cruise, or you're going off to Mexico. You're going to stay at a resort in Mexico or wherever you're going. And it becomes the last few days, and it's time for you to get ready for your flight home. You are going to do everything you can to cover up your sickness. You're going to be taking Advil and Tylenol, Sudafed, whatever thing you can do to clear up, because if you don't, and they don't let you on the plane, it's not quite as bad as it was during COVID, but you just know you got to get home.
Right.
And so I think that there are people, we're back to that time where people are like, I'm going home whether I'm sick or not. I'm going to get on this plane whether I'm sick or not, because you kind of don't have any choice. Even during COVID, I remember we went to Mexico during COVID, and you had to wear masks. They had all of these rules and all this stuff. And to leave the resort to get on your airplane, you had to take a COVID test. It was the easiest COVID test I ever took. The guy just kind of did a quick swab, and he's like, yep, you're negative. Get out of here.
Yeah.
They were just getting people out, because if you had it, you had to stay there and pay. You could stay for free until you didn't test positive anymore, but your family had to pay, or they had to go home and you stayed alone. Remember those times? So a lot has changed since then, but I'm not sure you can trust people, Doc. When they say they're not sick, I don't think you can trust them.
Yeah, so you've unpacked a lot of things.
There's a lot there. There's a lot.
As it relates to allergies versus being sick, so there is a lot of crossover in the symptoms between people that have allergies and people who have a mild upper respiratory infection. If you're having fever and body aches and things like that, that's not allergies. But
right.
It's quite possible somebody could have a runny nose and some watery eyes.
That could be allergies.
And that could be allergies, or it could be a mild infection. Now, if you are somebody who every year at this point in time, because of the amount of pollen, everybody sees the green that's on people's cars and stuff like that, all the pollen and stuff, and you react every time this year, and these is the exact same symptoms as you have every year, it's highly likely that what you're dealing with is allergies, and I would trust people with that. You're absolutely right too, though. People will, tend to do what they perceive to be in their own best interest.
Yes,
and if that's, getting on a plane to go home when they're not feeling well, they're going to do that.
I'm getting on this plane. But sometimes at least those people could do is like wear a mask or something to make you feel a little like they're at least trying. So, but listen, it's that time. And I only bring this up because every time I travel, I don't know what it is with my immune system, but every time I travel, I come home with something. We'll see. We'll be traveling this summer. I wonder if I come home with something. It'll be like 3 or 4 years in a row, Doc. So we will see.
Well, here's the suggestion for you. If that has been true of you, and it certainly has seemed to be true of you, if that has been true of you, maybe you wearing a mask preemptively would not be a bad thing.
Oh boy.
See, Dr. Hall, I'm so glad you said that. That was so good. Sometimes you gotta take the medicine, Bill. But listen, we just talked about this.
If someone's wearing a mask, to me, they're sick. That is the immediate. they're sick. They still want to come out, so they put a mask on to justify coming out. But I'm not sure I can. I'm not sure I may be done wearing a mask unless I absolutely have to.
Thank you, Bill.
That's kind of where I am, Doc. I'm sorry. And
I'm done wearing a mask unless I have something bad and I think I'm contagious or something. I'm not wearing a mask. It's almost like I'm not. I was going to say it's almost like PTSD. I don't want to go down that road.
I can't even. It's shocking to think about
bad memories.
Those horrible memories of COVID. It really is like. It's hard to think about that. But you're right. It's probably the smartest thing to do. Everybody has said, do you wear a mask when you get on the plane? No. I mask everything with vodka. It really, Doc, it kills everything. It kills all the germs. All right. Enough of this craziness. Doc, we do appreciate and maybe I'll consider that. It would be better than coming home sick. I'll tell you that.
Well, it is something to consider, and I will say that I was in the grocery store just yesterday, and I saw two people that were wearing masks, and they didn't appear sick. They were wearing masks because, they were in both cases they were elderly. I'm not saying you're elderly, but in both cases they were elderly, and I'm sure that they were doing it to protect themselves.
Yes.
And as far as I understand people are tired of masks, especially for the last 4 or 5 years. I was in medicine. I practiced medicine for 43 years.
Right.
And,
you wear it for
wearing a mask was second nature.
Yeah,
so.
it's what you guys do. All right, Doc, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the week.
Thanks, everybody.
Right.
Have a great day, and please be safe.
All right. Thank you. You do the same. I just don't. I think I'm kind of with you. I'm sick. Maybe I will. But I'm telling you, so especially if you go on a cruise, by the time you get to day 5 of 7, everybody's hacking up a lung.
Well, I was just going to say.
Everybody's sneezing and coughing, and everybody's like, it's allergies. Don't worry. It's allergies.
Listen, if the allergy excuse gets old and you don't want to put a mask on and you're traveling and you got some, I'm not suggesting anybody should intentionally spread something. But if you're just a little under the weather and then you get that little cough and it sounds like there's some chest congestion, here's what you do, Bill. Because these people don't know you. Should have quit smoking earlier.
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe that's it.
I never should have started.
Carry that pack of cigarettes just as your bluff. Maybe that's the answer. I got a break. Coming up, we'll. I don't know if you know all of the details on Juneteenth, but it is coming up. Right? This week is Thursday, Davey. So we're going to get an update on what is happening here for Juneteenth, and also what it means. I think maybe there's no mail on Davey. Look that up because I'd like. Or do you know the answer?
I know the answer.
Okay, all right, Davey. The answer is
no banks, no mail.
No banks, no mail.
No school.
No school.
And all government offices are closed.
Okay, and that's Thursday.
Right.
Okay. Well, there you go. So be ready for that.
And if I'm wrong, I do apologize.
Okay, that makes me nervous now. Now we're looking it up.
Smitty doesn't know. He thinks.
I am right about the post office and the banks and the schools.
Okay, good. All right, I got a break. We'll do news coming up, and then Hobica's free money question of the day. Today, by the way, it is worth
$200.
$200 on the line. A $200 potential prize could be yours. We'll do it after news on WIBX.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and servicing Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
All right, Tim, time for the Father's Day quiz. Are you ready?
Yes, Bill Keeler, I'm ready.
All right, name 3 things you can do for your family on Father's Day. Ready, go.
Wear the ugly tie to dinner.
Wrong.
Tell them I love the zebra striped boxers.
Wrong. Last chance. Here we go.
Actually, listen to my doctor and get tested for cancer so that I can be around next year.
That's the answer we're looking for. Plan to be here for Father's Day next year. Real men get tested for cancer.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone with your news update, brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica, Commercial Drive, Yorkville. Those living around Hamilton College should be aware of an upcoming siren test later this morning. The college is testing its emergency outdoor siren today at 10 a.m. The test should take about a minute. Hamilton College officials are reminding the public that any siren activation before the planned testing time, it should be treated as an actual emergency. Anyone who may have questions or concerns about this upcoming test should contact Hamilton College Campus Safety at 315-859-4141. Utica police are investigating a shooting in the city. Authorities say the city's ShotSpotter program activated twice shortly before 2:30 Monday morning, alerting them of gunfire on the 1100 blocks of Green and City Streets. Officers say they recovered several spent shell casings, and a projectile was found in a second-floor window around the 100 block of City Street. The Major Crimes Unit is handling the investigation and is asking anyone with information about the incident to please contact them at 315-223-3556. Anonymous tips can be placed with the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers at 866-730-8477 or via the P3 Tips mobile app. Mercury from centuries-old pollution is circulating in oceans. A paper published in Nature Communications highlights that toxins released by long-extinguished fossil fuel fires and gold smelters are showing up in the bodies of Arctic wildlife. The research paper probed why potent levels of mercury in Arctic whales and polar bears are increasing despite steps the world has taken to curb mercury pollution. Scientists project that even if mercury pollution continues to decrease, its levels will continue to go up in the Arctic. And Joey Chestnut will once again compete in the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest next month. His return comes 1 year after being banned from the event due to his endorsement deal with vegan food brand Impossible Foods. In a post on X, Chestnut says he's grateful he and Nathan's were able to find common ground and that he's excited to be back on the Coney Island stage, doing what he loves to do. Chestnut has won the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest 16 times. He ate a world record of 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes when he faced off against his longtime rival Takeru Kobayashi in a Netflix special last year. Your Weather Center forecast is next. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Unsettled week with warmer temperatures starting to surge back in. A few showers today, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. Not expecting widespread rainfall, 75. A chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight, 65. Tomorrow, a few showers, thunderstorms, 83. And showers are likely on Thursday, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm, high 83. I'm meteorologist Ray Stejek at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
I don't know if you're looking to next week at all, but starting tomorrow, 80s, 70s, 80s over the next few days, but next week, 90s. It's like all of a sudden summer hits and we've turned on the switch.
I'll be delivering in a toaster oven Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Delivering in a toaster oven and then standing in the heat doing umping baseball games. And as he lives the life, he drives a lot, he makes calls on the field, and then sits in here every once in a while. All right, it's time for Hobica's free money question of the day, and I think I have a really good one. And it involves something I did last night, but I can't remember what it was. And it'll be your job to tell me what it was. Does that make any sense? And it'll be worth $200. pretty good. This is going to anger Hobica tremendously, I'm going to tell you, because I think we're going to give away the money. It's worth $200. We're looking for caller number 5 right now at 315-736-0186. Caller 5, your chance to win $200 right now at WIBX.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually in fact true. How would you like up to $2,000 of free windows? When I say $2,000 of free windows, I mean $2,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $2,000 to get $2,000 free. You just get $2,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of the restrictions are income-based. And you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
Why do we say we bring the fun to your backyard? Because at Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, that's exactly what we aim to do. And a fiberglass pool can bring years and years of backyard fun. A fiberglass pool from Tucker Backyard is more affordable now than ever. Plus, with durability, low maintenance, and of course, beauty, it's the perfect fit for your backyard. Come visit our unique indoor showroom, including 3 fully functional pools, giving you a full hands-on experience. Or try our new interactive showroom and design the pool or spa of your dreams. Interact, design, review, and save. With Tucker Backyard service and knowledge, now is the time to stop by and learn more about putting the pool of your dreams in your backyard. Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, 8086 Seneca Turnpike, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com. Visit Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, Seneca Turnpike. We bring the fun to your backyard.
The national debt is soaring and the dollar is weakening. Rising deficits, inflation, and market instability are creating a perfect storm of economic uncertainty. Public figures that were once allies are clashing in the headlines, leaving Americans everywhere asking what's next. In unpredictable times, more people are turning to physical gold and silver as a way to safeguard their savings in retirement. At Advantage Gold, we help you move your IRA or eligible 401k into physical precious metals, tax-free and penalty-free. It's a simple, secure, and proven method to preserving your capital. When you call 800-900-8000, you'll receive a free gold guide packed with real-world strategies to help protect your investment. Plus, for a limited time, you could receive up to $10,000 in precious metals when you open up your qualified gold IRA with Advantage Gold. So don't wait for the next crash or crisis. Take control of your financial future today with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 or visit AdvantageGold.com. That's 800-900-8000. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial and tax professionals before making investment decisions. Call 800-900-8000.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
Well, good morning, good Tuesday morning. God, it's only Tuesday. I feel like it's already Friday.
I know.
Yeah. Jeff Manasseh is a guest host here this morning. Say hi to Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
And it's time for Hobica's free money question of the day. The Hobica Law Firm, for all of your legal needs, call 724-1600 for any of your legal needs for the Hobica Law Firm. All right, today we're doing a question that I think is a goodie. I think it's doable, and it's worth $200. Are you ready? Let's go to Joe and Marcy right now, ready to take a shot. Hello, Joe. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
You sound like you're driving in the space shuttle. I hear all sorts of noise.
All right, hold on. Let me. There you go. Is that better?
Okay, gotcha. Much better there. Yeah, that's good. All right. Are you ready?
I am as ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, you're going to have 7 seconds to answer this one. And I feel like this is one of those you're going to know or you're not going to know. And
Bill filled me in, and I'm in the latter category.
Jeff did not know the answer to this one. Okay, so, but I think you're either going to know it or you're not. I hope you do. It's worth $200. Here is your question. Last night, my wife and I watched a movie, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember the title, but I do remember some things. Let me give you some clues. There were two mob hitmen, a pair of bandits, a boxer, and a gangster's wife. Now, what was the name of that stinking movie? Ready, go.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. All right, that's
Good
probably
guess.
not a bad guess.
Your first clue, I think, was made me go down that '90s mob movie.
Yeah.
So here's
and it is a '90s movie, I think. By the way,
I'm gonna say the biggest clue.
1994.
One of the biggest clues I think that's overlooked, and I think I overlooked it as well, is the whole part about you can't remember it. So is it something like amnesia, dementia? Something
No,
like
that is just that is me.
you really couldn't remember?
Yeah, that's just me.
Okay, go.
Let me see if I can add another thing to it and see if it would have helped you. If I had another
I'm horrible at
clue.
movies too.
What's that?
I said I'm not good at the movies thing, the titles either.
Listen, what happens, oftentimes I'll like pick a movie for us to watch, and I'll be like 10 minutes in, my wife will be like, you realize we've seen this movie. And I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it's brand new for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if I said, last night we watched a Quentin Tarantino movie, I can't remember the title, two mob hitmen, a pair of bandits, a boxer, and a gangster's wife.
That's good.
Would that help?
You cut out a little bit. I'm sorry.
The answer is Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was the movie. Yeah.
Okay, I probably wouldn't have got that anyway.
I don't think I would have either, to be
When you
honest
said
with you.
Tarantino, I knew the movie. I saw Travolta.
I just found like that movie was weird to me. All of his movies are a little on the weird side.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you to Davey. We are going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card, so stand by, and thanks for playing along.
Yep, have a good day.
All right, Joe. Thanks, you too. And Davey, take care of Joe if you could.
I'm so disappointed now that I didn't have any idea, and it was Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm. And you would have known that.
I should have known
the
that.
Tarantino clue helped.
Big time.
It wouldn't have helped with Joe, he said. It wouldn't have helped with me either. Like, are you sure we've seen this movie? I'm sure we've seen Wizard of Oz. Yes, we've seen the movie. I'm like, I don't remember. Now look at this. It's turned into color. I can't even believe it. This is so weird.
There's some great quotes in that movie.
Okay, Thursday is Juneteenth, and I wanted to just give everybody an update of the things that are going on. Believe it or not, there's a town locally that has elevated the Juneteenth celebration with their first ever Freedom Folk Festival that they're doing. This is Peterborough, New York, which is out near you, Davey, right? No. Where's Peterborough?
I think it's further than that.
Let me go to the expert, Nell Ziegler. Ziegler. Hi, Nell.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. And you're the president of the organization and this celebration this year. Where is Peterborough, by the way?
Peterborough is in the heart of Madison County. We're halfway between Canastota and Morrisville.
Okay, so you're
Novia, Munnsville.
You're close then. You're over in that Munnsville area. Yep. All right.
Yep.
So let me ask you first about the history and why is there a Juneteenth celebration in Peterborough?
Well, Juneteenth is when General Gordon Granger went to Galveston, Texas, following the end of the Civil War.
Yes.
He arrived June 19th and announced that the war had ended and that African Americans could no longer be legally enslaved. It's been a date that's been celebrated in the African American community for many years and is now being more largely recognized.
Yeah.
We are celebrating it in Peterborough because Peterborough is home of the Garrett Smith National Historic Landmark and also the National Abolition Hall of Fame and Museum, which is located in a building that housed the first New York State Anti-Slavery Society meeting in October of 1835.
Wow, I did not know that was even there. That's really wild.
It's a good bit of history.
We have a lot of history in Peterborough. we have many activities over the course of 4 days to celebrate Juneteenth. Starting Thursday evening, we'll be ringing bells in our little hamlet, and there'll be a presentation on the history of Juneteenth by Melton Cernett, and followed by a film, North to Freedom. Friday evening, we again will have another film and discussion on the 13th Amendment. And Saturday, we will have speakers throughout the day talking about researching Underground Railroad sites. We will have Kate Clifford Larson, who is the biographer of Harriet Tubman, having a discussion about Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. We'll have a lecture on teaching white supremacy. And then Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, the gates will open for the first ever Freedom Folk Festival. We have 3 music acts that will be performing. There will be food available, drink available. We hope people will come out in droves and have a good time.
You know, I was just speaking to my wife about the Jackie Robinson, of course, instrumental in baseball. He was not a big protester, but through example, he really changed the world of baseball and opened the door for African Americans. It's and today, Major League Baseball, I forget, is it April 15th? Every April 15th, everybody wears they wear his number.
Everyone wears
their jersey.
42, yeah.
So, but it was very interesting. So my wife was reading a book because of Juneteenth. I was reading a book to students about Jackie Robinson and how shocked kids are of this at this age level, just what he went through, and this was well after the things that you're celebrating, right? We're talking about. We're talking about a long time, and it was still going on in the 50s and 1960s. By the way, what my wife was teaching, they don't teach in Florida anymore. Makes me a little nervous.
What's that?
Anything like that, any of the diversity stuff, it's just not taught in schools in Florida. But that's for another topic. But there's so much to learn from this because this area, I never realized Peterborough, but this area alone, upstate New York, played such a huge role in the Underground Railroad and the freedom of many African Americans.
Most definitely. Garrett Smith and his family, who Peterborough was their home base, supported many notable figures that you'll read about in history over and over again. Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, the likes of Sojourner Truth, John Brown were all frequent visitors to Peterborough. It's probably one of the most historic places that you've never known about.
How did we get to the point that, and I realize you're trying to change that, but how did we get there? It just was lost in history? People didn't pay attention? How did that happen?
Maybe partly because Garrett Smith just quietly supported the cause, didn't need to name on, libraries throughout the country, like Carnegie did. Although Carnegie, was of equal wealth and standing, he just quietly went about what he felt was his moral duty to do for others that did not have the ability to do that for themselves.
Wow. Okay, so is there a website where people can go to get?
Yep, there sure is. PeterboroughNewYork.org, and Peterborough is PeterboroNY.org.
Okay. And there will be a lot going on. It looks like not just on Thursday, but going on right into the weekend as well.
Correct. And Sunday we wrap up with a presentation on the churches of Peterborough. There were several churches here and different ways that the Underground Railroad was supported.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like you're on the road to making sure that people know what Peterborough is and what its history is. And that's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would like to put another plug that New York State is developing the Harriet Tubman corridor right now to link up with what's happening in Maryland and traveling through Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And Peterborough is one of 5 anchor sites in New York State for that corridor. So even more reason to come see us.
Okay. All right, good deal. And again, the website is key where you can find out everything that's going on, peterboroughny.org. Nell, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have
Thank you
a great
for having
day.
me.
Thanks so much. I have driven through Peterborough, and I guess I didn't even realize that. You know that the area is rich in all of that history, and you would have thought that by now this is just something that you would know that Peterborough exists and the huge role that it played.
Yeah.
But it isn't. The Jackie Robinson stuff is really incredible, too.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how the Mets kind of adopted Jackie Robinson as a Met, even though he was a Dodger and the Dodgers left and the Mets kind of came in that proximity. But the Mets have kind of adopted Jackie Robinson as a New York Met.
Yeah, to some extent, certainly. Of course,
we're looking for any bit of history that could jump on.
I think that's part of it.
Early
but the fact that Jackie Robinson, right, with the affiliation with the Dodgers, and then the Dodgers affiliation with obviously New York City. There's the Jackie Robinson Rotunda at Citi Field, and is there a statue of him?
I believe so. Yeah,
I believe it is in the Rotunda. I haven't been there in a couple of years. Got to change that.
This will be the year. Although did that 3-game sweep from Tampa Bay, they're struggling with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's always a tough team, a tough out, if you will.
Revive Softwave Therapy with Dr. Timothy Del Medico is here. If you're in need, if you're dealing with pain, neck pain, back pain, knee, wrist, arthritis, and they're offering a $99 new patient special. This is the same technology that is used at a different level of intensity that is used to break up maybe a gallstone or a kidney stone in your so it simulates a slight injury. It tells your brain there's an injury. We've got to send the blood. We're going to send all of the stem cells. We're going to send it all to that area. And then your body on its own, with a little help from Revive Softwave Therapy, begins to repair the injury. It works. With Dr. Timothy Del Medico, call today for an appointment. 315-725-8427 is the number, 315-725-8427. And the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And I got to say, Daylight, it's going to start getting hot. Iced coffee and cold brew. They're offering now the 32-ounce supersize XX large iced coffee. Tell me that won't keep you going all day long. And try their pistachio lattes, pistachio muffins, and iced coffee. It's all there at Daylight Donuts with a speedy drive-thru in the village of New Hartford.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/radio. That's leaffilter.com/radio.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
He's back at the White House a day early. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump returned before dawn after leaving the G7 summit in Canada to deal with the Iran-Israel conflict, telling reporters on Air Force One it is not to work out a ceasefire like French President Macron says.
I didn't say I was looking for a ceasefire. That was Emmanuel, nice guy, but he doesn't get it right too often. But we're not looking. We're looking for better than a ceasefire.
Now, the president posted on Truth Social, if Iran wants peace talks, they know how to reach him, adding they should have taken the deal on the table. The president also repeated that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, urging everyone in Tehran to evacuate immediately as Israel keeps attacking. That's the moment Iran state TV was bombed, and while that reporter ran off the set,
one woman was killed by that airstrike. Israel did send warnings into the area surrounding the state TV building, telling people to evacuate the area. State TV did get back on the air from a remote location.
Another attack killed Iran's top military commander, who had just replaced the last one Israel killed 4 days ago. Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv also reports.
The ballistic missile attacks continue, but to quote an Israeli military official who just spoke a short time ago, the attacks have not been as impactful, and we certainly haven't seen the same kind of numbers. There were a number of false alarms last night. This morning, a missile attack did materialize, but as opposed to the hundreds of missiles and drones that we've seen incoming before, there were about 20. 4 missiles did get through.
But no casualties were reported. Prior attacks have killed 24 Israelis. Russia bombarded Ukraine overnight with hundreds of drones and missiles, killing at least 15 people, most of them in the capital, Kyiv. California's attempt to end President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to Los Angeles gets a hearing in an appeals court today. That court temporarily blocked a judge's order to undo the deployment, saying the president exceeded his authority, using the troops to deal with destructive protests. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/policy. That's ethos.com/policy.
Before President Trump left Canada, ending his trip to the G7 summit early, he talked trade with Canada and the European Union and finalized a deal.
President Trump and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer signed off on a new trade agreement intended to cap tariffs on British imports and open UK markets for American farmers.
Fair deal for both. Going to produce a lot of jobs, a lot of income.
The president says many more trade deals are on the way. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney says he and President Trump agreed to trade talks to reach a deal within a month.
We have different concepts. I have a tariff concept. Mark has a different concept, which is something that some people like.
Representatives of the European Union are also here, another key U.S. trading partner looking to avoid higher tariff rates. In Calgary, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Members of Congress will get a security briefing today after the weekend shootings in Minnesota left a state lawmaker and her husband dead and a state senator and his wife wounded. Police say the accused gunman, jailed on state and federal murder charges, had a list of many other Democratic lawmakers as potential targets. On Wall Street, stock futures are falling before today's trading and before a new report on the economy, retail sales for May. In the NBA Finals, another win for Oklahoma City.
The Pacers cut an 18-point deficit all the way down to 2 points with 8.5 minutes to play. In Game 1, Indiana erased a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter and won by 1 point. Last night, after the Pacers got within 95-93, Oklahoma City outscored Indiana 25-16 the rest of the game to win by 11, 120-109, and go up 3 games to 2 in the NBA Finals.
That was honestly the same exact game as Game 1, to be totally honest. So learning through these finals, that's what makes the team good, and I thought we were able to do that, and we were able to collectively get stops and win the game.
Jalen Williams of the Thunder with ABC after he scored 40 points in Game 5.
That's Jared Max. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. I'm Megan Stone with your news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica Commercial Drive in Yorkville. 64 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full WIBX Weather Center forecast is coming up next. Utica fire officials responded to a 2-alarm fire on Watson Place. Officials say they responded to the area around 4:10 yesterday morning and said flames were coming from the back of the building. Officials say the fire was rapidly spreading, jumping from the first floor and into the second floor and attic area. Firefighters launched an aggressive attack to bring the blaze under control and prevent it from spreading to neighboring houses. The heat did melt the siding of the next door home, however. It took firefighters about 40 minutes to control the blaze. No one was inside the residence at the time. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Madison County deputies are continuing their investigation into what's being called a suspicious death. Law enforcement arrived on Stables Road in Fenner yesterday after someone discovered human remains on the side of the road. The only information released about the individual is he was 45 years old. Autopsy results will be needed to figure out what caused him to pass away. There's no threat to the public, and anyone with information is asked to come forward. President Trump's big, beautiful bill is a big, bad blow to New York. That's according to Senator Charles Schumer, who made that statement yesterday during his visit to Solar Liberty in Amherst. He talked about how cutting energy-related tax credits would decrease business growth and make clean energy installations out of reach for working-class families. The Senate will vote on the budget bill within the next few weeks and finalize it by July 4th. All staff members who were laid off from the 9/11 healthcare program have been rehired. John Feel is a lead advocate for the 9/11 victims and says everyone was brought back, but there's still a fight to get legislation passed for more money. He and others with 9/11 related illnesses are in Washington this week for meetings where they will push for more money because Feel says medical costs have risen and more people have enrolled in over the years. The program provides funding for roughly 140,000 responders and survivors of the 9/11 terror attacks. And suicide hotline and behavioral health service for LGBTQ youth and young adults could be cut under the proposed budget, Department of Health and Human Services. Senior administrative officials say the proposal calls for funding for health services for LGBTQ youth to be reallocated to the general 988 services. That means there would not be an option for someone to be connected to a counselor trained to specifically talk and help LGBTQ youth. Your WIBX News Time, 8:07. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Unsettled week with warmer temperatures starting to surge back in. A few showers today, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. Not expecting widespread rainfall, 75. A chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight, 65. Tomorrow, a few showers, thunderstorms, 83. And showers are likely on Thursday, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm, high 83. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajek at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Currently 64 degrees under cloudy skies. Let's take a look at sports. Brought to you by the IBEW 43 local sports desk. The Thunder, they've taken the series lead after recording a second straight win in the NBA Finals. Oklahoma City defeating the Pacers 120-109 at home in Game 5. Jalen Williams led the way for OKC with a game-high 40 points. NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander chipped in a double-double with 31 points and 10 assists. The Thunder now lead the best of 7 series 3-2. The Pacers hosting the Thunder in a pivotal Game 6 on Thursday. The Stanley Cup will be in the building tonight. The Panthers, they now have a chance to clinch their second straight championship when they square off against the Oilers for Game 6 from Sunrise. Winger Matthew Tkachuk says they have to treat the matchup as a Game 7. Meanwhile, Edmonton's goalie controversy is still unsolved. The team hasn't named a starter between Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. Team USA is naming half a dozen players to its 2026 Olympic hockey roster. Matthew and Brady Tkachuk, Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel, Quinn Hughes, and Charlie McAvoy were chosen for the team on Monday. However, the Stars and Stripes haven't selected a goalie yet. For the final rosters in Milan, they do need to be submitted by early January. The Yankees suffering their fourth straight loss after falling to the Angels 1-0 in 11 innings in the Bronx, so there were Angels in the outfield. New York still leads the AL East and will continue its 4-game set tonight. The Mets hoping to put an end to their own losing streak. New York dropping 3 in a row. They're entering tonight's series opener against the Braves in Atlanta. The Mets, though, they're still leading the NL East. The first batch of balloting for this year's MLB All-Star Game. It's been released. Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge leading all players with over 1.5 million votes from fans. Dodgers two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani is leading all National League players with nearly 1.4 million votes. This year's process features 2 stages of fan voting, with the current stage running through June 26th. The All-Star Game will be played on July 15th in Atlanta. And the final week of spring football has arrived, with the Giants starting mandatory minicamp. Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo will be occupying the secondary for the first time since signing with the G-Men in free agency. New York will hold training camp next month. Your WIBX News Time, 8:10, 64 degrees under cloudy skies. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
I'll do a couple of comments that we have coming up here. A couple about Manaski, as a matter of fact. Jeff, they're Lance and Lee. Concrete driveways, concrete sidewalks, old stone walls, block walls, you name it. Brank Construction has you covered. Stairways, solidway entrances, chimney repairs. If it's concrete and masonry work, there's nobody that does better than Brank Construction. BRANCK. Call 315-894-3481 for Brank. And in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, their hardwood blowout with savings of 50% is going on. You'll find the best selection of hardwood now through the end of the month in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. If you've been imagining how beautiful new hardwood floors will look in your home, the time is now. It couldn't be better than to take advantage of hardwoods in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. And it's not just that. It's everything with the inventory. You're getting the best selection. You know you get the Pergo Extreme 60-mile radius price guarantee. You're always getting the lowest price on Pergo Extreme at Sarah's. And Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com. Don't forget tile, which is what we most recently purchased. And in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, just down the street from us, with the largest inventory you're going to find anywhere out there. Okay, Manaski, a couple of comments.
Good morning, Lance. Before you insult me, I just want to say good morning.
Actually, it was insulting me. It wasn't you. I thought it was you. I was trying to deflect.
I hope you have a great day, Lance.
Listen, Mike says, it took a while. I have the bird feeder with a camera as well. And he said it took a while for the birds to come to our feeder. But once they started, the word travels in the bird world. I put a cone on my bird feeder pole, and it has stopped the squirrels from getting it all. And he said, yes, you've been to Peterborough. Remember, you've been everywhere, man.
Bill's been everywhere, man.
Remember that little piece? And I think, if I'm correct, it's a bear, man. I breathe the adder on the care, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I think Peterborough's in this. I've been to Williams, Stittsville, Middleville, Verona, Paris, Oneida, Ava, Vienna, Little Falls, Yorkville, Barneville and Boonville, Sherrill, Frankfurt, Mohawk, New Hartford, Clayville, Mercy, Utica, Whitesboro, Russia, Clinton, Roman Island, Patton. I've been everywhere, man. No, it wasn't in that one. Everywhere, man. I'm pretty sure it's in there, though.
Canal, man.
Peterborough, New York.
Forge, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Sylvan Beach, Yorkville, Westmore and Clark Mills, Remsen, Barnerville, Sangerfield and Camden, Waterville, Clayville, Flooded out of Castle, Vernon, Annville, Oriskany, Ohio, Columbia to Richfield, Jordanville to Steuben, Springfield, Skyler Lake, Brookfield, Cleveland. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. The turkey joints in Rome, man. Greensboro, Leon, Bleecker, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Clayville, Remsen, New York Mills, Waterville, Cornhill, Lake Delta, Madison, Falkville, Litchfield, Manheim, Danube, Herkimer, Newport, Poland, Warren, Webb, Anstark, Fly Creek, Morrisville, Fort Plain, Schuyler, Hamilton, Payne, Sound, Leonardville, Berlin. I've been everywhere.
Well, I can't hear it anywhere, but I think it's in there. I'm pretty sure it is. By the way, Julie says, Peterborough was a hamlet of families of former slaves that came up through the Underground Railroad to Canastota. Growing up in Canastota, we knew it to be a black community hamlet with a great deal of history. Many descendants of there went to Canastota schools. Pretty cool. And then one more on whether or not you should wear a mask. and you're against it. Like if you're traveling,
well, I just don't.
You're against it.
I do. You do you, and I'll do me.
Well, what you would be willing to say though is if somebody is wearing a mask,
I'm staying away.
You're not gonna. You're number one, stay away because chances are they're sick, and you're not gonna ridicule them for it. Like,
no.
What are you wearing a mask for? Are you baby?
No. And if I did ridicule them, I'd be so far away they'd never hear me anyway.
They wouldn't hear. You'd be something like, look at over there, people wearing a mask. These people are nuts.
Look at these clowns. Oh,
I do
someone
get a
just
little,
stepped on my hazmat suit. Hold on.
I do find it a little odd when you see a woman out walking her dog with a mask on outside by herself. I don't understand that. But listen, who am I to care? You shouldn't even care. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Do whatever you want. Julie, I'm sorry. Donna says we should not throw stones. People with compromised immune systems also wear masks. And Bill, you said the vodka, it is not helping. I'm pretty sure it kills germs.
I think whiskey does, doesn't it?
I think it does. Either wear a mask to prevent yourself from getting sick or suffer from the people who are sick and refuse.
I mean, again.
All right, Donna, thank you for putting it bluntly.
Compromised.
I like cologne, though. I rub the vodka all over my face. I mean, it's like a sanitizer.
Have you been drinking? No,
Nope.
I just shaved. It's a little aftershave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, aside from the compromised immune system, you know, I'm not a medical expert, so take this with a grain of salt, but I think COVID has become the new flu.
And I'm not sure that it's just COVID. I think it's you really don't want to catch anything, right?
Right.
I know whatever I had a couple of weeks ago that lasted for like 3 weeks, I couldn't seem to shake it. Kept coming back. It wasn't COVID. I don't know what it was, but it was the worst crap I've had. Yeah, it was
you just
terrible.
dealt with it.
Well, yeah, but I missed work, and it was. I don't want it.
I don't want it either. I don't want it either, but I don't
want to be sick.
I'm not taking precautions to.
Okay, all right. I'll know to stay clear of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's an anniversary coming up here, 50th anniversary coming up this weekend, and it's a cool anniversary, if you will.
Can we get to the insult from Lance? You're moving on.
No, it was about me. It wasn't about you.
No, I know, but I still want to hear it. I might agree.
I'm sure you will.
No, come on, Bill.
I'm sure you would agree, but I can't find it. Anyway, I'll get to it in a second. So stand by, anniversary, 50th anniversary. Believe it or not, it is the 50th anniversary of a business here locally, and it's one of the cool businesses.
Yeah, I never would have guessed it's been 50 years.
I never would have guessed it's been 50 years either. We'll get to it. Coming right up at WIBX.
We're the power and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
At Kubota, we want to help you deliver a job done right. That's why we want you to know that new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You have work to do. We have the reliable, durable, and versatile lineup to help you do it. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
We're the power and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
Beautiful woodwork adds warmth and charm to any kitchen. But years of use can leave your cabinets worn and faded. When you call Enhance, we'll make your cabinets as good as new again in as little as 1 day for a lot less than you'd pay for traditional refinishing or replacements. Whether you want to renew your cabinet's original finish or completely change their color, just tell us the look you want and we'll help you get it. Or bring your hardwood floors back to life. With most Enhance renewals, you can use your floors again the same day. Plus, there's no mess, no dust, and no odors. Call Enhance today for a free in-home consultation. We'll explain the process, we'll show you how your cabinets or floors will look when we're done, and we promise you'll be really pleased with the price. And when you trust Enhance, you'll get the skilled workmanship and attention to detail we bring to every job. There's no obligation. Call us now at 738-1113. 738-1113.
All right, Tim, time for the Father's Day quiz. Are you ready?
Yes, Bill Keeler, I'm ready.
All right, name 3 things you can do for your family on Father's Day. Ready, go.
Wear the ugly tie to dinner.
Wrong.
Tell them I love the zebra striped boxers.
Wrong. Last chance. Here we go.
Actually, listen to my doctor, and get tested for cancer so that I can be around next year.
That's the answer we're looking for. Plan to be here for Father's Day next year. Real men get tested for cancer.
On Tuesday's Guy Benson Show, Katie Pavlich will join us. News of the day and politics as well. Paul Morrow, former NYPD inspector, he'll be here on the Law and Order beat. And Israel's ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Michael Leiter, will be here on the Guy Benson Show. Tuesday edition coming your way.
Guy Benson, airing at 7, only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, here are those comments, by the way, that I couldn't find about you. By the way, John in Deerfield says that incident in Deerfield occurred at an 8U girls softball game. So when they say it was at a park, there was a game going on, so distraction. Yes. I'm telling you that when somebody is sick so that they are ready to do something, or they're just an a-hole, like wanting to steal from your graduation party, which we had, they're waiting for something to go on. Like at a game, people are all paying attention to the game. You're not thinking about you have a young toddler and there's some scumbag that's looking to maybe do something bad, and we're told that did happen. So you got to watch every second. Some people, very small minority, are bad. Deeds in New Hartford, if he had stayed home, he would still have his, I don't know what that is. Looks like Jeff shaves his legs. They look as smooth as Davy's head. That's Lance and Lee.
I do have I don't know, I'm just not hairy.
It's a little odd listening to William, is that me? Thoughts on wearing masks, especially with Clorox wipes and hand sanitizer 3 feet behind you. Listen, there are people that are
Bill's
spitting.
been a germaphobe, though, for a long time.
Spit all over these microphones. And I'm not going to put my face on it without cleaning it off. You want to do that? Feel free. Have some fun. You guys need a wipe? Nobody's used those microphones. You're just fine. All right, that's all I have here right now. All right, in studio and celebrating 50 years, and I cannot believe Harley-Davidson of Utica is 50 years old.
Yeah, me neither.
That's crazy. Shane Gatto is a service manager, and that's you. Say hi, Shane.
Good morning.
Corey Rivera is the general merchandise and marketing manager. Is that you? Good morning. And Max Carbone is the general manager.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good morning. So who wants to take this? You guys are celebrating 50 years. That's awesome.
Yeah. So 50-year anniversary. We're having a 2-day blowout kind of party starting Friday, June 20th this week. We're going to kick it off at 2 p.m., go till 8. We've got tattoos by Timeless Tattoo and Dinosaur Barbecue here all day, both days. It's going to be awesome. They're bringing a flash book, get a quick tattoo. So that'll be both days. And then Friday, we got Chasing Neon for a band. It's going to be kind of like a bike night. A lot of you guys are probably familiar with our bike nights on Fridays.
I still think that you mentioned Dinosaur. I was just thinking about Dinosaur Barbecue. And it would be so cool if, because there have been a lot of rumors about Dinosaur opening up here and looking for a place. Right next to you guys is the place where they should find a spot and build, right?
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
that would be pretty wild.
That'd be wicked cool.
Love it.
No, I'll get fat.
Yeah. Well, listen, their meat's pretty lean. I think you'd be fine. You'd be all right.
There is that, like 2 lots over. It's the former AT&T, which is, right? I mean, they could put something in there.
We'd love
to.
And that is empty. It's been empty since
the shooting,
long time ago. That would be a real good spot. Okay, so like your bike nights, there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, live music, obviously, Chasing Neon, like I said, Dinosaur, tattoos, and we also have Three Bastards Brewing coming to do beverages.
Okay.
That's both days, too.
What else you guys want to add?
So Friday is going to be like
just pull the mic right over to you and then get right on it.
Friday is going to be like the pregame, because Saturday it's just going to be madness. It's going to be the biggest party of the summer.
Nice.
So Friday, if you don't want the crazy crowds, you'll want to show up to our Friday event. And if you want to get a tattoo, we will be doing free Harley-Davidson of Utica tattoos. We do have limited slots available, though, so you'll have to go to our website, hdutica.com, go to the events, and RSVP there, and you'll get a spot if it's still available.
I of all the businesses, like I could see like big promotion. I don't know if you heard about it over in New Hartford. Aldi is doing a promotion. You can go there this weekend and get a free Aldi tattoo. I was like, who in their right mind would get an Aldi tattoo, right? Think of all the businesses that exist here in the area that you would never get a tattoo of that business. But I have to tell you, Harley-Davidson of Utica.
I was just going to say the branding with that.
People will get that tattoo.
And there's some perks that come along with it. So if you want to do it, sign up for sure. We'll tell you everything.
All right. How many slots do you have available?
I think we have about 10 left.
Aldi, New Hartford. I mean, right on the arm. No?
Yeah. How long have you been in your current location?
It's been about 15 years since we were on Commercial Drive.
So that's why the 50th comes, because you were up near Don's Ford, weren't you?
Yeah.
Up there?
Well, we started in Utica, and then it went up to Don's Ford. The franchise was actually right in the Don's Ford showroom. And then after that, we built the current building we're in now. We've been there since.
Which is a really nice.
Yeah,
the other
nice
part of this
new.
is this is still in the Carbone family. This is a Carbone family business.
Correct. Yep. This is a Carbone dealership. This dealership, Harley-Davidson Utica, Power Sports Utica as well, and then Adirondack, Harley-Davidson, and Powerhouse, which is the same setup out in Broad Albin.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add? It's an extremely, unbelievably loyal following. Harley. Right?
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm right around the corner from you guys. I was just saying about my car issues, so I drive by you guys every single morning. I know
his
the Friday
car is
nights,
louder than a Harley right now.
It really is. The Friday night stuff that you do, typically, you guys have bands. You guys usually have a food vendor of some kind there. Can you talk a little bit? That's every single Friday. And then this celebration, does it include a ride? Is there a ride?
No. So our bike nights are the fourth Friday of every month. We have a lot of people in the showroom and a lot of energy going on Fridays and Saturdays every week.
Yeah.
But like bike night with live music, refreshments, food, that's once every month on the fourth Friday. This is going to replace our bike night for June. And then Saturday, the big party, I just want to kind of really quick go over is first thing is we got 4 bands lined up. It is starting with starting with Sydney Irving. Nicholas Stark comes on after Sons of Grunge, and then we also have Mag Dillon. And in between their music appearances, we have a Harley-Davidson stunt crew out of Canada called the Highway Heathens. And they're going to be in the parking lot doing wheelies and crazy stuff on motorcycles, on Harleys. So that's going to be a big
that's
attraction.
Cool. Yeah. And merchandise, is there anything special to the anniversary? You may have already said that.
We do have 50th anniversary Harley-Davidson Utica t-shirts.
Okay.
That'll be available
All right.
for sale.
All right. Good stuff. Good luck. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big deal.
Thank you very much. We'll see you guys there, hopefully.
And I think the weather might be okay for you. It's certainly going to warm up. And the weekend looks pretty good so far. So let's hope it stays that way. This has been the worst, I don't have to tell you, the worst spring I ever remember living here. It's just awful.
And if you have a bike, I mean, you don't typically take
terrible.
it out when it's raining. So,
Davey?
Is Fran Cosmo still going to be there from the lead singer of Boston?
Fran Cosmo?
Former lead singer of Boston, yes. He will be doing a meet and greet on Saturday.
Okay, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. Think about it. He was the lead singer of the band Boston.
And he's locally, too.
Yeah, he's local.
Yep. All right, cool stuff, and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very
and
much.
congratulations.
Take care,
Quick
guys.
break,
Have
and we'll
fun.
come right back here. It is 8:29 at WIBX.
Have you always wanted a bed you can pick the number on each side, make it as soft or as firm as you want? Check out the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort at Mattress Express. 5 years, no interest, no money down for qualified buyers, and no credit check payment plans.
Now through June 30th, get up to $120 off 4 new Bridgestone or Firestone tires instantly at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair Centers. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at tallmanstire.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See store for details.
Think you know history? Think again. Journey through time and explore rare one-of-a-kind artifacts that span from the Revolutionary War to present day. Don't just read about history, experience it at Sticks and Stones Museum in West Winfield. Open Sunday 10 to 3.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone with your news update, brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica, Commercial Drive, Yorkville. Rome police have made an arrest in the robbery of the South Madison Street Burger King. According to authorities, officers were dispatched to the restaurant around 8:30 last Monday after a suspect threatened an employee with a knife and fled with money from the register. No one was injured and the amount of money taken was not disclosed. Rome police have since identified the alleged suspect as 41-year-old Paul Williamson of Utica. They have charged him with first-degree robbery, which is a Class B felony. Williamson was taken to Oneida County Jail for arraignment. A brand new store is going to be moving into the former location of JCPenney's at Destiny, USA. It is called Mystery Bins, and it sells things like discounted Amazon merchandise to folks who enjoy bargain shopping. The catch is buyers don't know everything they're getting, and many of the items are overstocks or returns. The store is expected to open July 1st. JCPenney's left the mall in September 2020. All staff members who were laid off from the 9/11 healthcare program have been rehired. John Fiel is a lead advocate for the 9/11 victims and says everyone was brought back, but there's a fight to get legislation passed for more money. He and others with 9/11 related illnesses are in Washington this week for meetings where they will push for more money because Fiel says medical costs have risen and more people have enrolled in over the years. The program provides funding for roughly 140,000 responders and survivors of the 9/11 terror attacks. And how dirty are beards? Research has shown that beards often do indeed host dense microbial populations, bolstered by moist places for them to thrive. It's been an issue in the healthcare field where there have been mixed results over how hygienic beards are. Some early studies raised concerns that facial hair may be home to more harmful bacteria, but others have shown no difference between bearded and clean-shaven workers. If beards are cleaned regularly and well maintained, it greatly reduces the chance for harmful bacteria to grow. Your Weather Center forecast is next. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Unsettled week with warmer temperatures starting to surge back in. A few showers today, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. Not expecting widespread rainfall, 75. A chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight, 65. Tomorrow, a few showers, thunderstorms, 83. And showers are likely on Thursday, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm, high 83. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, currently we have some clouds and 64 degrees at WIBX.
I got $13,000 in home upgrades, and I didn't owe $1. It was life-changing for my family.
I'm Jen Kita, CEO of Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating. That's a reaction from one of our recent customers who took advantage of New York State's Empower program. He received $13,300 worth of insulation upgrades and a new boiler system and paid $0. At Standard, we'll handle everything: rebates, scheduling, and keeping you comfortable year-round. Start with your free home assessment at standardco.com.
Ferris Commercial Mowers set the bar with racing-inspired patented full suspension and integrated cutting decks so you can go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Ferris Experience Suspension. Take advantage of the best financing and prices of the year. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
Near the power and power equipment, White's Farm Supply.
Why do we say we bring the fun to your backyard? Because at Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, that's exactly what we aim to do. And a fiberglass pool can bring years and years of backyard fun. A fiberglass pool from Tucker Backyard is more affordable now than ever. Plus, with durability, low maintenance, and of course, beauty, it's the perfect fit for your backyard. Come visit our unique indoor showroom, including 3 fully functional pools, giving you a full hands-on experience. Or try our new interactive showroom and design the pool or spa of your dreams. Interact, design, review, and save. With Tucker Backyard Service and Knowledge, now is the time to stop by and learn more about putting the pool of your dreams in your backyard. Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, 8086 Seneca Turnpike, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com. Visit Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas, Seneca Turnpike. We bring the fun to your backyard.
Hey, at Steve Ponte Mazda, the Move to Mazda sales event is continuing. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, 50s, 70s, and the CX-90. That can be a gas or a hybrid, which I love because I never really put gas in. I drive back and forth to work, and I can drive around a little after that. I can go about 16 to 20 miles on a charge. So it's a hybrid. It's not an electric vehicle, but it's enough to keep me rolling. I like it. That's the CX-90. You can see Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. Mazda finished, and it is different when you purchase there, whether you're leasing or purchasing, whether it's new or pre-owned. The experience is a great experience. They finished 2024 with a 16.8% sales increase year over year and awarded the more IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than any other brand in the country. As Rick says, come on in. Let's make your deal on a new or pre-owned Mazda from Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I have a new contest that I'm going to start rolling out, and I thought I would try it on you, Jeff.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
I used to ruin your contests.
You used to, but now you actually, because you're technically not an employee, you could win them. Davey, do you have something we could give him if he gets this right? Like an all-in-one food and fun card, the $25 gift card, good at Nexus, or...
I'm all for it.
Or the Comets games at the Adirondack Bank Center, Cookies, Q and Creamery, Babes, Aquavino, Taylor and the Cook, the list goes on. It's nice because it's available. You can use it in many different places. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Now, you're going to have 7 seconds. The name of the contest is 5 and 10, but I've changed it to 5 and 7 because I don't want too many winners.
What 5 and 10, not 5 and dime?
It's 5 and 7.
5 and 7.
5 and 7.
Okay.
So you have 7 seconds to give me 5 answers. So you got to fly.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Name. Are you ready? Name.
Are you ready?
Stop this. Apparently not. Okay. Name. 7 seconds. Name 5 things that are round. Ready, go.
Ball, circle, your head. I don't know. That is tough. You get put on the spot. That's the easiest question. I could come up with 40 of them.
Yep, you could.
You hear the clock ticking, you get nervous.
The clock is ticking, and you get nervous. We may never give anything away, and we'll take all the prizes.
0 is one.
0 might have been around. Yeah, that would work. I would give you that. But you said ball. You would have been better served if you stayed in sports. Baseball, basketball, soccer ball, head, coin, globe.
This is a new contest?
My kid, when he's doing a somersault, this is a brand new contest. Well, I think it's a winner.
Yeah, I think it's a winner, too. I'll take one of those food and fun cards just for the fact that you guys experimented on me.
You have to win, and you did not win. On the line right now is Shane Mahar. He's the Director of Public Engagement for the Canal Corporation. And while you might be saying, okay, I think this is, I'm sorry, Shane. Now, I'm people will be like, well, this isn't going to be very interesting. Oh, no, it is. It really is. I mean, it is one of the gems in our area, in our region, in upstate New York that many people forget about and should take the opportunity to take advantage of. And good morning, Shane. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning, sir. We couldn't agree more here at the New York State Canal Corporation. We like to say that the Erie Canal in today's New York State Canal system is uniquely New York. We are the only state of the nation that has the iconic and legendary, still active Erie Canal. And 85% of upstate New York's population lives within 25 miles of today's New York State Canal system. So it is in your backyard. Come use it, come enjoy it, come recreate on it. Get in a kayak, get in a boat, hop on a jet ski, walk on the trail, cycle on the trail. There's endless opportunities to do stuff out along the canal system today.
And it is there's just something about going through the locks. That is, part of the whole cool experience.
It's true. It's ancient technology. There's no pumps. It's all gravity. It's a water elevator for boats, essentially. Yeah. I mean, that is the simplest way that we can always describe it. That as you traverse and transit the canal system across the state, obviously elevation changes. And in order for us to move the boats from higher to lower or higher, or lower to higher, we need that, lock. We need that elevator for boats to allow boats to transit through the communities here.
Here's a trivia question for you. You have 5 seconds to answer, okay? I'm going from 7 to 5. 5 seconds to answer. Here is your question. Name the only harbor along the New York State Canal to have its own lock. Ready, go.
Utica Harbor Point, the old inner harbor for the Canal Corporation.
Well, you did it in under 5 seconds. That was good.
That's a tremendous development there. I mean, long time New York State Canal Corporation headquarters. They're in Utica. A number of years ago, the property transferred to the city. The new Harbor Point development, just a magnificent opportunity for mixed use and activating, water right there in the downtown area.
Boy, at what point did we finally realize water, upstate New York, attraction? This has opportunity. Because for years you couldn't do anything on the canal, and now we're looking at it. I mean, just Harbor Point alone, what the plans are, it's almost as if the plans are the plans, but sky's the limit on what you can do over there.
No, it's true. I mean, think about the generational shift of the canal system. I mean, 200 years ago, we're celebrating the bicentennial of the Erie Canal, the original Clinton's Ditch that opened on October 26, 1825. And in those 200 years, it has transformed, and it's going through its own, I would say, renaissance in the moment. There is still commercial cargo. We still ship, big items, oversized items, bulk cargo. There are still tugs and barges out on today's canal, but so much of it in this last couple of generations has transformed into a recreational waterway where people want to get out on the water. They want to be close to it. And you think about, where the canal is in upstate New York and all of the cities that grew from its banks. Whether that be, Albany back in the 1800s, Schenectady, Amsterdam, Utica, going out through, Rome, where ground was broken on July 4th, 1817, the first shovels in the ground in Rome for the Erie Canal. And then as you go west, Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo, and a whole host of other communities. I think the count is, I think it's between 200 and 220, communities that are throughout the canal corridor in upstate.
It is really incredible to see some of the amazing boats that people will be traveling maybe from New York City to the Great Lakes or going the other direction. I mean, you can go from anywhere from the canal. But some of these incredible boats that people are leisurely taking a trip and vacation. It's you see some really cool boats.
No, absolutely. So we also like to say at canals that you can go anywhere in the world on a boat from the Erie Canal. And so many of those folks who are plying the waters of upstate New York, are doing it as part of what's called America's Great Loop. So this is a 5,000 to 6,000 mile interconnected, network of waterways where folks will spend their winters down in Florida, down in the Gulf of Mexico, down in the southern part of our country. And then in the spring, they start to work their way up the intercoastal. They come into the Hudson River. They come up to Albany, come up to Waterford, and then they swing that left-hand turn into the Erie Canal, the gateway right there at Lock E2 in downtown Waterford. And then they go on. They can go up through the Oswego to Lake Ontario, depending on the height of their boat. They could go all the way to Buffalo on the Erie Canal. The song is true. Low bridge, everybody down. We still have low bridges out west. So as you go west of Syracuse, you do have height restrictions, and not all of those big, beautiful boats can go all the way west on the Erie Canal. Many of them at Three Rivers Junction in outside of Syracuse there, where the Erie Canal and the Oswego Canal meet, they divert and they go north up the Oswego to Lake Ontario, and then through the Great Lakes that way.
It's funny because usually when they do low bridge, everybody down, Bill will stand up and stretch.
Yeah,
He's fine.
I feel like this doesn't bother me at all.
Can you talk a little bit about Clinton's ditch?
Well, it was criticized. It was
Yeah,
thought to be a
absolutely.
stupid idea by many.
Right. Thought to be a folly. Clinton's ditch, no one would use it. Crazy idea. And here we are 200 years ago and commemorating the bicentennial of the original Erie Canal's opening. And it did. It opened up the interior of New York. It allowed for the movement of westward expansion, allowed those cities that I had mentioned to grow in population, merchants to move cargo. But it was also integral in the Underground Railroad, the spread of religious movements, the spread of ideas, women's suffrage. So much of the foundation of our country really grew from, the birth and the growth and the digging of the original Erie Canal. One thing that we don't talk a lot about until just recently is what the Erie Canal's construction did to the Haudenosaunee and the Native American peoples who were already here and living just fine amongst the land. And that's been a real core push by the Canal Corporation and the New York Power Authority and all of our partners, the Erie Canal Museum, the Canal Recreation Way Commission, which is one of our advisory councils, to talk about those undertold stories. I mean, we all know the dominant narrative that's taught in fourth grade history classes. Right. The Erie Canal, again, that commerce, that movement of goods and cargo and the economic development that came with it. And the fact that, New York City was the financial capital of the world, or is the financial capital of the world because of the Erie Canal, and New York being the port of choice. But one thing that we've been trying to expand is that narrative, the underrepresented stories, the under-communicated stories of the canal's history. Yeah. And we have an initiative at Canals that we've labeled More Voices. And it is that narrative it's that campaign to spread awareness about how the construction, of the Erie Canal really disrupted the Haudenosaunee and the Native Americans.
Yeah.
And a really cool connection to the More Voices campaign is coming to Utica on July 3rd. We have a collaboration with the Albany Orchestra, and they have launched in conjunction with the Erie Canal's bicentennial. They're calling it Water Music, More Voices.
Yeah.
And the Albany Orchestra is coming to Harbor Point on the evening of July 3rd for a free concert.
Wow, that's cool.
Where these underrepresented stories will be performed and portrayed in musical pieces by the orchestra.
I wanted to ask one more, maybe this is stupid. It might be a stupid question. But, the Viking cruise ships, riverboat, they're basically boats. So, we've gone on one of the trips and whether you're going through Europe or you're going through the canal systems in Europe, it's really quite incredible. But now they're actually adding trips to North America, including the Mississippi. And I wonder, because when you go to a town that's on the route, on one of the routes for Viking, they live off the number of times during the week that the Viking boats dock there. And a whole community of tourism, restaurants, and everything all gets created and lives off those cruise ships that are coming into dock. And I wonder if they're doing it on the Mississippi, is there an opportunity maybe down the road to do something on the Erie Canal.
Absolutely. That's the short answer. And we used to. There was a company out of Rhode Island, Blount Small Ship Adventures, that up until the pandemic in 2020 used to run sizable cruise ships up the Hudson River. You know, they would overnight in the capital region in Troy, and then they would make their way through the Erie Canal and up the Oswego to the Great Lakes. Their two ships that they used to run on the canal system were specifically designed and built to fit within the locks, by inches. It was a very narrow fit. Unfortunately, that summer of 2020, the pandemic, COVID-19, tourism, really falling off that summer. Blount, it was Blount Small Ship Adventures. I believe they ended up selling off or closing, that arm of their business. They are still in business as boat builders. The Power Authority and Canal Corporation have a contract with them to build us 4 new maintenance tugs. The first 2 arriving this season to support our workforce out there. But there had been some conversation with some other operators who have been doing their due diligence, who have reached out, and they've started to ask specific questions about the operation of the canal, navigation depth, communities. We've had a couple of calls. I can't remember in the moment if it was Viking or if it was another, another tour boat company.
Sure.
But there has been some interest just in the last couple of months. We've had some outreach by a few of those companies seeking, guidance and just kind of institutional knowledge on canal operations and what might be possible if they were to bring a cruise ship back into the canal system.
Well, listen, I can't wait to run the story maybe 10 years down the road of our residents going down to the canal, to the lock, and squirt gunning these people because we don't want you tourists here. We, too many tourists to see the Mona Lisa. You never know.
So much. That's true. Speaking of tourists, we, Canal Corporation, we conducted a study a number of years ago now. More than $400 million is spent annually throughout the canal corridor via direct tourism spending in canal communities. And just think about, again, the connections. So many of our upstate communities right there along the Erie Canal, the Oswego Canal, Cayuga, Seneca down on the Finger Lakes, or the Champlain that connects the Hudson to Lake Champlain on the east. So with 524 miles of navigable waterway, there's 57 locks, 16 lift bridges. There is so much opportunity for folks to get out. And again, then you've got the Canalway Trail, which is now part of the Empire State Trail and follows so much of the original alignment of the old towpath dating back 200 years.
It's going to seem like a
And the Canalway Trail, the number, I think it was just shy of 4 million users last year.
Wow.
So there's an incredible amount of folks who are out there, cycling, jogging, hiking, doing all kinds of cool stuff there along the trail system.
That number seems huge to me. Listen, I'm only asking
it's incredible
because I've never seen it. Can you take a jet ski down the Erie Canal?
You can, yes.
I can't believe I've never seen it.
So most of the jet ski activity is within the river sections or up, say, like on Oneida Lake. So remember where you guys are in Utica, the canal and the river are split. The original canal 200 years ago, it was a ditch. It was land cut. It was separate from all the natural bodies of water. It was expanded in the mid-1800s to become the enlarged Erie Canal. And then in the early 1900s, when the state made the decision to enlarge the canal for a third time, or actually I should say second time, third generation, and built today's barge canal, it incorporated sections of the Mohawk River, Oneida Lake, other natural bodies of water, through the use of technology available at the time through our movable dams. But where you guys are in Utica, remember the canal is split. It is still that land cut ditch, versus the windy Mohawk that comes down from Rome and flows through the city of Utica there. So it's a little tougher. I mean, jet skis could go on those quote unquote land cut sections. They would have to travel slow, idle speed, 5 miles an hour, no wake. but out on Oneida Lake, out on the Mohawk River, they could certainly, pick up some speed there.
Yeah.
Okay. That
or you can go fast and get a ticket because you will.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. You could do that too.
You can do it.
We work with the county sheriffs. We work with the state police. We offer something we call a Marine Patrol Grant. And that goes out to all the municipalities, say like Oneida County, who has a county sheriff's unit and has a boat, and we pay them to help, protect that, or offer that level of public safety and security in patrolling if they're on the canal.
Well, listen, I think it's such an asset, and whether if you're looking just in our predominant area alone. From what's being done out at Sylvan Beach, how they've developed in Rome, now Utica, and you have Frankfort, Little Falls, all of these, and Herkimer, the waterfront grill down there, and Gems Along the Mohawk. So, and they do boat tours out of Herkimer on the canal. So there's just there's a lot of opportunity, and I hope we continue to move forward on developing it. So great talking with you, Shane. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. No, Dave, thanks for having me on. I mean, next time, sorry, I'll do it in person. I know I'm via phone today, but no, on one of these upcoming trips to the Utica area this summer, we'll make sure we'll pop in and say hello.
All right.
Because there's so much cool stuff on the horizon for this bicentennial year.
All right, very cool. Shane Mahar, thanks, and enjoy the summer.
All right, sounds good. Thanks,
All right,
Jen.
thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. I do want to tell you that the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they're accepting new patients right now. If you're having an issue and you're looking for a physician or looking for a second opinion, they definitely have you covered. Dr. Shemolinsky, Dr. Zielinski, they're accepting new patients by calling 315-507-4751. And you also could, there's acupuncture. I mean, it is the premier osteopathic medical clinic here. So whether you're looking for that adjustment, that is that monthly adjustment that's far more extensive than what you get from your chiropractor, or a second opinion, or just a new family doctor, call them today. The Falcon Clinic, 315-507-4751. You want to try one more of these contests?
Yeah, let's do it.
5 in 7 is what this is. 5 in 7.
I want to try.
Okay, all right, Davey, you'll take this one.
You work here. If you get it right, I'm taking your gift card.
5 in 7. Name 5 words that start with Z. Ready, go.
Zebra, xylophone, zoo, zapatoid.
Zephyr.
Xylophone is with an X.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. A lot of people would guess that.
All right, I'll do one more. Ready?
Ziploc.
Name 5 items, Manaski, you write with. Ready, go.
Pen, pencil, marker, crayon, colored pencil.
I don't think I can give you. I don't think I can give you colored pencil because you already said pencil. All right, I'll give it to you. Give him the prize.
Right.
He's gonna whine. He'll write to management. It'll be terrible.
They want to hear from me.
All right, listen, we have to wrap it up. Manaski, thank you as always. Good luck with all of your umping today and driving and all the things that you do. And Davey, another one down. We had a crazy morning, all these technical issues this morning.
Tomorrow night's the big night, Bill.
Tomorrow night, Davey receives his big award. Hey! Yeah, from the Boilermaker.
Thank you, Jeff. It
and
means
that'll
a lot
be
coming from you.
6 p.m. right at the FX Matt Brewery Beer Garden.
Right.
So you can check that out. We will. I may be a little late, but we plan to be there. Okay. And the weather's going to be nice, I think. It'll be good. No surprise, I'm going to be a little late. Thank you. All right, I got to go. Back here tomorrow. Enjoy your day.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment. And trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. We're giving you the best deals of the season. It's Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
All right, Tim, time for the Father's Day quiz. Are you ready?
Yes, Bill Keeler, I'm ready.
All right, name 3 things you can do for your family on Father's Day. Ready, go.
Wear the ugly tie to dinner.
Wrong.
Tell them I love the zebra striped boxers.
Wrong. Last chance. Here we go.
Actually, listen to my doctor and get tested for cancer so that I can be around next year.
That's the answer we're looking for. Plan to be here for Father's Day next year. Real men get tested for cancer.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
He doesn't believe in phones. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's why President Trump says he left the